What is up, everybody? Kyle Blaine here to go on a bit of a rant. This is a rant about social media automation. Any service that tells you, hey, we'll help you make your social media easier by automating things. I'm here to talk to you about why you should not use those, and if you are using them, stop, because you're ruining Twitter and you're not using it the way it's intended, nor are you really doing anything of value. So what I've done is I've scoured a bunch of these services, including Social Oomph, which I'll be complete full disclosure, Social Oomph actually is pretty good compared to the rest, but it still offers features that can be used inappropriately. So Social Oomph, Unfollowers, Unfollow Me, Tweet app something, I can't even keep track of them all, there's so many of them, but anything that advertises that it's going to help you gain more followers and automate your tasks and show you who has unfollowed you, it's all those people. What I've done is I've taken a bunch of their features and I've listed some of the ones that I kind of find ridiculous, and I want to explain to you why they're ridiculous and worthless for you to use. First up, the ability to find users based on a certain criteria, and then allowing you to tweet them or follow them. Now, most of these sites, when they talk about this, they also add that you should tweet them or follow them in hopes that they'll follow you back. Really? Is that why you follow someone? Is that why you tweet at someone? To have them follow you back? You don't understand Twitter. The point of Twitter isn't to follow people so they'll follow you. The point of Twitter isn't to have the most followers. The point of Twitter is to communicate with people, provide content, make connections with people you've never met or with people you have met. So let's talk about the criteria here for just a second. The criteria you can use for this search can be based on tweet keywords. That one I'm very much against, because if you do a keyword search on any given thing, you're only getting information about that specific tweet. You don't know that that person always talks about that topic. You know what I mean? Like if I was interested in learning more about killer whales, and I did a search for people who tweeted about killer whales, well, I might find someone who has one tweet about killer whales. They're worthless to follow, but with these systems, with this service, I don't necessarily know that. So I think doing this based on keywords is really ridiculously dumb. But the other two criteria you can search on are profile info and location. These aren't so bad, because profile info, that is very personal to the person. If you're looking for someone who knows about killer whales, well, they might say that they're a killer whale expert in their profile info, and then you might want to follow them or tweet at them or whatever. And location, I could see being beneficial for businesses. And so you could look for people based on a location and then automatically tweet at them a specific tweet. That's not the worst thing in the world. But again, not many people use this the right way. Before I continue, I want to clarify something. When I say the word automated, that service may not actually be automated. It may be semi-automated. It may say, hey, we found this based on your search. Would you like to do this with this list? And then you click OK, and then it does it. So it's not completely automated, but it is heavily spoon-fed to you. Now, with that said, one of the other services they offer is automated retweets. This is presumably based upon a certain search criteria like we just talked about. The reason I say presumably is they're kind of vague with a lot of these features. Like it just said automated retweets. Well, what does that mean? And second of all, that's dangerous. If you automatically retweet things that say a certain search criteria, like let's say you are Coca-Cola and you set up an automated retweet to retweet anything that said Coca-Cola, that's dangerous, because what if you retweet something that's negative towards your product? So that's just a bad idea. And here's the thing, your Twitter feed is supposed to be you, not some automated machine that's deciding what you should do. So if you're retweeting stuff that you don't know you're retweeting, that's dangerous. And the next one is a doozy, automatically unfollowing people. And here's the list of reasons that one service said you might want to automatically unfollow people. You might want to unfollow people who haven't followed you back. Or you might want to unfollow people who have unfollowed you. This is childish. Is that really something people feel? Like, do you really feel like, oh, well, so-and-so hasn't followed me back yet, so I'm going to unfollow them? Did you really follow them simply for the hopes that they'd follow you? If so, get off Twitter. You don't understand Twitter. You also might want to unfollow someone who doesn't have a profile image. That seems kind of silly, but I would also, I would give that some validity, because if someone doesn't have a profile image, they're probably not very serious about their Twitter. But why did you follow them in the first place? Oh, that's right. You automatically followed them because of some other search thing. Next, you might want to unfollow someone because they speak a different language than you. Again, why did you follow them in the first place? You might want to unfollow someone who follows too many people. Okay, I could see this kind of being used to find, bots who just follow anyone and everyone, but I don't know, that just seems weird to me. You might want to unfollow people who are inactive. Well, here's the problem I have with this. Why? Why would you need to unfollow someone who's inactive? The only thing it does is it makes your followers to following ratio look a little bit better. But if someone's inactive, they're not showing up in your feed. Therefore, you're basically not following them because there's nothing to be followed. You also might want to unfollow people who tweet too much or tweet too little. Well, if you're using Twitter, first of all, how can someone tweet too little? Why would you unfollow someone because they tweet too little? I don't know. That goes along with the whole they're inactive. But if someone tweets too much, if you're actually using Twitter, you know that they're tweeting too much. I've done that 1,000 times. Someone tweets 50 times within an hour. I'm probably going to unfollow them, or at least mute them or something. But if someone's tweeting too much and you're using Twitter, you're going to know that. You don't need a service to tell you that. So these services will take all of those categories and say, hey, we can automatically unfollow these people for you. That's just dumb to me. And now we get to some of the worst features of these services. You can automatically send direct messages to all of your followers. I can't think of a worse idea. Okay, so why would you want to do this? If you DM all of your followers, isn't that just technically like tweeting it out, except it's not public? What would you want to DM to every single one of your followers but not tweet out? Second of all, that's just flat up spam. You're just forcing your tweets on someone at that point, and that's ridiculous. That's just going to lose followers for you. Similarly, you can set up an automated DM that is sent to new followers. This is something I see all the time. You follow someone and you get a direct message back from them saying, if I follow a new YouTuber, hey, thanks for following me on Twitter. Be sure to check out my YouTube channel. And then it says via @unfollowers. And I know, oh, that guy's a robot. I'm going to unfollow him. That's my immediate action. I check out their YouTube channel and see how dumb they are, and then I unfollow them on Twitter. That's all there is to it. Automated messages like that make you feel like a robot and not like a person. I don't want to follow a robot. I want to follow a person. You need to be personable. And there are ways to do this right. You can do automated direct messages back to someone, but you need to make it obvious that you know that you're sending an automated message. Let them know, hey, I'm just sending you this automated DM to let you know that I'm here if you need any questions answered or have any concerns or want to just chat sometime. Let them know that you don't think they're an idiot, because that's what you're doing when you send them an automated message and you think they think it's personalized. Another one that ruffles my feathers is automatically favoriting tweets based on a certain criteria. What does favoriting a tweet actually do? I know we can go and look at what someone's favorite tweets are. You can go back and look at your favorite tweets, but how often do you actually do that? Specifically, how often do you go back and look at someone's favorited tweets? So whenever I get a tweet that's automatically favorited, that's obviously automatically favorited, I ask the person, I say, excuse me, why did you favorite that tweet? Most of the time they don't respond, but sometimes they'll tell me, oh, it's just an automated service. So you didn't really like my tweet. You didn't even see my tweet. You just have that set up so that I see you. You're doing it because you're selfish and you want followers. You're doing that. You're favoriting my tweet because it doesn't really benefit me. It doesn't really hurt you. All it does is it makes me see your name come up in my notifications, and it makes me check you out and possibly follow you. That is selfish and childish, and you should not do that. And finally, I'd like to end with a quote that I found on one of these sites, and it said, "It's highly advisable to follow Twitter's rules to not get suspended." This service is flat out acknowledging that what they're providing can get you suspended from Twitter if you use it the wrong way. And let me tell you, you're all basically using it the wrong way. Very few people use these services properly, and I highly advise you to think twice before using them. Please, if you hear anything out of this, hear this. Twitter is not for getting followers. Twitter is for providing content and reading content, connecting with others that you do know, others that you don't know. Twitter is not a game where you try to get the most followers. Stop ruining Twitter.